Hi, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm here to bring you another YouTube video. Let me just get my iPad kind of in sync here. We're ready to go. Today I'm going to bring you a card called 4-in-1 Quadrilateral Cards, and what you're going to do out of one sheet of 6x6 paper, you can make these 4 cards. And so we are going to do those in just a minute. We're gonna put a little new take on it as we do it, and I'll show you that. I do have over on my Stamp Crazy VIP page in Facebook, you can get the PDFs, which shows you what we did, how to do the angles for your card, and then a picture of the 4 cards and that. So that is over there at Stamp Crazy VIP. If you haven't joined that and you would like to get all the PDFs to the videos I share, you may do that. I also have a store at ritaholmes.stampinup.net with Stampin' Up. If you do not have a demonstrator, I'd be glad to do that for you and be your demonstrator, and you can go to my website and do that. And also my email is ritaholmes0611@gmail.com. So I do have a September host code, which is right here. You can copy that down. If you see something you would like to order, that would be great. I do want to tell you that the end of the month, the celebration promotion will be over with, and that is where if you spend $50 out of either current catalog, you can pick out something for $50. Also, if you like Stampin' Up, would want to become a demonstrator, you can join right now for $99 and get your starter kit with $125 worth of merchandise that you get to pick out. Plus, you can get one free bundle out of the catalog. So that could be up to another $60. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you all that before I get started, and we are going to take a different little approach to, here I used an embossing folder and that, and I'm actually going to use another printed paper, and we're going to see what that looks like because I haven't done them like that yet. So we will be doing that. I'm going to first show you how to cut your papers so that you get your diagonal, and then we'll move on from there. So let me gather these up. They're all alike, so we'll just stack them on top of each other and kind of set them up here to the side. And I hope you can still see them in the thing. What you will need will be a paper trimmer, and there's 2 ways to do this, and I'm going to show you both ways. And one of the ways, we're going to take a piece of 6x6 paper, and this is out of the Heartwarming Hugs, and I actually cut this at 6x6. So anyway, what you can do with this is you can line it up at the 1-inch mark, and when you do that, you can make a little pencil mark. And then you can turn it. I'm not making a pencil mark. I'm going to do it the other way that I'm going to show you. You can make a little pencil mark. You can turn it, make a little pencil mark, and you're going to do that on all 4 sides. Just make a little pencil mark. And then after you would do that, you would take and line your pencil mark up, which would be about right there and about right here. Let's keep that one on there as I get this one over here instead of swinging them around. And then you would cut your diagonal and turn it and match up your other 2 marks and do the same thing. So you just mark, like this mark will go down to this mark over here, be here and here, and then when you turned your paper again, it'd be here and here. So I'm not going to do mine that way because I'm going to save a step of having to mark off 1 inch either way. And I'm going to take and I'm going to line up. I've got it squared. I'm going to turn it to like a diagonal. I'm going to line this up at the 1 inch here, and then I'll line this up over here at the other 1 inch. So it'll be like that and that. And then just keep them there, make sure they're there, and then we are going to cut. Then I'm going to take these two together, and I'm going to line that one up at 1 inch. I'm going to keep these kind of together, and I'm going to line that up at 1 inch. You can actually line them up a little separate and make sure that you just get the top and the bottom lined up together. And if you're off a smidget, it's not going to make or break the bank, so don't worry about that. So we have that here. I've got my edges together. I'm going to bring that down, and then I'm going to cut. And then here is what I have. Let's get them all off the paper trimmer. We're done with that. So we've cut our 4 quadrilateral pieces of cards of DSP. And so what you're going to do, as you see on here, you're going to line your short edge and your long edge along your paper, which will be basically like that, okay? And so you can see, and sometimes if you get it off a little bit, you might have a couple pieces shorter than the other, but it doesn't matter because you've got them all cut basically the same. That's all you need, okay? And that's just if you get that little inch off a little bit, that'll do, that it will cut one size just a little bit bigger than the other. So what you're going to need to do these cards, you're going to need 4 pieces of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded. I used Mossy Meadow. You're going to need, this is to make 4 cards, you're going to need 8 pieces, that's 5 1/4 by 4, 4 for the outside, and then one for the inside, okay? And then you've got 4 pieces, and this would have been, like on this one, I used an embossing folder, which I would have did this size paper, which is actually, let me tell you what that is, because I forget, 3 by 4 1/4, and it's going to be where I'd put this here and then cut it off. That way, if your paper's not all the same size, you're going to make sure this fits. So, but we're going to be using printed paper instead of a cardstock there, just to see what it looks like. Okay, so that's everything we need. So I'm going to get us out 4 pieces of basic white cardstock here. So there's 4, because I'm going to do all 4 of these cards with you, just to show how they go, and I'm hoping I can keep all of this in line a little bit. So these will go just like this on here. Okay, so that's how they're going to be. I'm going to take my glue, make sure, and then I'm just going to just did it like any other thing I glued, just around the outside. I'm going to line that up, top and bottom, or I should say side and top. And I'm just going to let that lay there and dry. I'm going to move on to the next one. These are super fast cards, and here's another card that you can use up a lot of DSP, because you can cut it into a lot of pieces. Like I said, this is 4 cards out of 1 piece of 6 by 6. So you could get like 24 cards, no, 16 cards, I mean, out of 1 piece of 12 by 12 paper, if you were using 12 by 12 cutting it up. So you could whip out a lot of cards without using tons of DSP, but yet using some. If you're like me, sometimes, you know, I take it by spells. I'll use DSP a lot, and then sometimes I'll go months and not even use any. So Then this will be our last one here for this. And there we have all 4 pieces for our diagonals and stuff there. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and I'm going to add these right here and line them up. So what I'm going to do, because I want this to line up exactly with my bottom here, so I have a straight diagonal line, okay? So what I'm going to do, instead of putting that on the paper and I'm covering all this, I'm going to just put it on the card. And then I'm going to line up the bottom and just sit that against there. We'll put that one to the side, let it dry while we do the other 3. Come on. I go through so much glue. Do you guys tend to use a lot of the adhesive that you like to use? I sure do. I'm going to lay that down. Just make sure that there we go for that one. Seems like I need a bigger workspace to do all 4 cards like this, but we're good. Got a little bit of glue down there, so I'm going to kind of move it up so it doesn't squish out. And it's still squished out just like there. That's okay. We can catch that with the eraser. If you've watched me very much, you know that I love the glue eraser, which you can get off of Amazon. That's where I got mine. Okay, we have all 4 pieces ready to cut. Now what you do with each piece is you just take a pair of scissors, or you could put it on your paper trimmer if you really wanted to. But I am just going to run this along the edge of the basic white cardstock and trim it. I'm going to save my extra little pieces. You never know when you need an extra piece of paper. You can use those for about anything. And I notice right here I did not get that exactly. I had it hanging over, so I'm going to trim that a little bit. There we go. So there's 2. Three. And then our 4th one. And that's basically all we do with the paper. Now we're going to stamp. And I'm going to stamp the Merry Christmas using the Heartfelt Wishes. I'm going to use this Merry Christmas right here. And I'm going to stamp across the bottom here. And I am going to use the Real Red ink. And what I'm going to do is, because these lines are so little, I'm just going to tap this with my ink pad upside down. That way I don't get any on these extra lines out here to where it's going to make a mess on my... I'm just making sure I have all of my words stamped. Or inked, I should say, not stamped. They look good to me, I hope. hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is just bring this in, hold it at an angle, and stamp Merry Christmas. And I'm going to rock that just a hair for that Y down there. And there we go. So there's one. Let's set that to the side out of the way. I see a little bit of glue here. So I am going to take this right now. And if your eraser gets dirty on the ends, just pull those little glue balls off of there, and because that's what it is, it's your glue balling up there. And if you keep it on there too much, then it tends to get real nasty on your cardstock, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so here we go with this one. Bring in another one, as you can see, and I have a little ink right there on the edge, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off with my fingers. And you barely have to touch your ink pad to your stamp when you're doing this. You're just doing it very lightly. You're not pressing. So there is that part. Now what I'm going to do before I do put my card together, I'm going to bring in my 4 pieces that go on the inside. And I am going to stamp, I used this on my last video. It's from the stamp set For Unto Us, which has a lot of the Christian sayings on it for Christmas time, which I like to do. So I am using the one that says, "May your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives." And I really like that. So I'm going to ink up my stamp here. I hope I don't put my fingers in the ink. And then and one more. And we have those. Let me put that way far away with ink on it. I'll clean it later. Close my stamp pad, and there I do. I get ink on my fingers like this all the time. So I'm always rubbing it on my pants. It's a good thing I wear jeans and you can't really see it. Gracious. So now what I want to do is bring my 4 card bases in. And I'm going to go ahead and fold each one of these, okay? So I'm just going to fold over. Give it a nice turn. Can't get the last 2 apart. Oops. So I'm going to make sure they're all turned the right way as I do this. Open the right way, because I have been known to make cards backwards, which is a whole lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on my front right here onto my base. And I'm just going to go ahead and open it. I'm going to take an inside piece and go ahead and glue that. Oops. So there's one. Let's move right along. See what I mean about these cards going really fast? You know, you can use any kind of DSP. You could make birthday cards. You could make Halloween cards, Thanksgiving cards, fall cards. Whatever kind of paper you have at home. If you wanted to use up some of that stuff that we all think we have to keep so much of. And use it up. And make you some cards. And, you know, with Christmas coming, you could do a lot of, like, little card, put a lot, little card kits, like, together where to give away, like, do a thank you card and a, thank you, a birthday, a get well, and a thinking of you, and put those into a, you could take and put the 4 together with envelopes, tie them with a pretty ribbon. You can get the acetate card boxes, which Stampin' Up! Does sell, and put them in the acetate boxes and decorate those. There's so much you could do with those to give as little gifts during the holiday season right now. And if you've got some little gifts you know you want to make for somebody or get for somebody and you don't know what you want to do, that would be a great thing to do. Friends at church, friends, you know, if your kids are into like ball and stuff, you want to give stuff to the coaches or, you know, teachers, whatever. Works out really good. So let's get this last one put together, and then we're going to put our ribbon on it, and then we will be done with these cards. So we're making 4 cards in about 20 minutes or so. Not long. Yeah, it's been probably 20 to 25 minutes by the time we're done. And that's pretty good. Because I have a lot of people tell me that they spend hours on cards. And so we're not spending hours on these cards. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in this real red ribbon. And we're going to tie a bow and put on the cards. I have 3 bows already tied. And then I'm going to tie one with you guys. Even though I have a band-aid on my finger. I cut my finger. We went out to eat to Texas Roadhouse and I cut my finger on my knife. But that's real typical of me. So, wasn't nothing out of the usual for things that I do. I'm very clumsy. So anyway, I'm going to tie my bow. And just work this down a little bit to what I think I want my size to be. Pull it kind of tight. Make sure, just keep wiggling it around. Then I'm going to take and cut my... There we go. So that's our 4th bow. Now to put my bows on my card, and what you're going to do is we're bringing this to where all of our paper meets, which is down this line. We got all 3, this cardstock and these 2 pieces where they meet. That's where our bow is going to go. And what I do is I take my bows on the back side and I put 2 glue dots on, and 1 to each side of that knot a little bit, so it holds my loops down on my card. So I'm going to do that and just put my bow right here. And then that's my card. Like that. So let's do the rest of them real quick so we can say we got 4 cards done tonight. If I don't get anything else done, I can say I got 4 cards done. Last night I sat and made little boxes out of our little tombstone boxes that we carry. And those were really fun to do. I have a booth at one of our little farm markets, and I'm taking them out there this week for Halloween. I have to do something with the outlet. I have so much stuff that it's crazy. And then the last one. I'll be glad when we get our glue dots in that are back on the right side instead of on this paper on this side to be over on this. I don't know what happened there, but they said it would go back the right way, so I'm glad. So anyway, there is my bows and that on my card. So let's bring these cards in that I made just now. So there's our 4 of these. I'm going to set them up like this. And then I'm going to put them, here's the one, and I won't get them all in here. But these are the ones with the cardstock, with the embossing folder. So as you can see, either way is cute. I actually think I like the printed paper a whole lot. I think it just looks more festive. But you know, you can do what you want. And like I said, you can do all kinds. You know, you could use Halloween paper, the fall paper, do anniversary cards, get well, thinking of you. You know, just get into your stash of your DSP and your double-sided paper packs that you might have bought elsewhere, you know, whatever. And use some of that stuff up, because I know we all have a lot of it. Because if we all love stamping, we all love paper. And therefore we tend to buy excess paper. And we just need a way to get rid of it. So I hope you enjoyed this little technique. And like I told you, you can go over, you can join my Stamp Crazy VIP group, which is a Facebook group if you're on Facebook. And you can pull off all of the PDFs of the how-to videos that I do, like this, you know. So like this one's a 2-page one. But I make one for all of my Tuesday morning videos, unless they are a card kit, and those people pay for those PDFs along with their kit, so I don't put those on for free. But everything else I do. So you can do that. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, would be great. If you don't like my video, you can also give me a thumbs down. I'm not going to be critical of that, but I would like for you to comment and tell me how I can do better, because I don't know what I can do better by no one telling me. So I'm always room to improve and stuff. So any kind of thumbs up, thumbs down is food for thought for me, and I appreciate it. So I am going to let you guys go until I get another video out, and we will see you later. Have a blessed day.